Hello, hello. Welcome back to another album reaction listen with Radiohead. Unfortunately, today I don't look very presentable. It's because England is very cold at the moment, so I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm being comfy. The last album we reacted to was Amnesiac. I asked people to leave a comment if I should listen to I Might Be Wrong or In Rainbow's Disc 2, and people said they weren't particularly important to the Radiohead discography to just maybe listen to them in my own time. So today we're going to be listening to Hail to the Thief. Without further ado, let us begin. This is 2 plus 2 is 5. I don't think that's the right maths. Radiohead. I'm very, very excited. I hear guitars. Whoa.
Such a dreamer to rise.
The harmonization there. Where 2 and 2 always makes it 5. Interesting. It has such a eerie vibe to it. The drums feel so kind of offbeat or a really odd time signature. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that distortion. Oh yeah, this is so good. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is the Radiohead that I love. Oh! Oh! Oh, that bass is. Wow. I love this guitar here. Wow. Wow. I'm so speechless. This is actually so good. Oh, and then it just stops. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I feel kind of utterly speechless. That's literally the first track of the album, and we're kicking it off with a banger. The first thoughts that I had when listening to this song from looking at the lyrics and just looking at this album cover over here, it feels, again, I think Radiohead are a very political band, and I personally sort of heard this song as a way of the people who have power trying to manipulate us into making us believe things which are just totally inaccurate. So for example, 2 plus 2 equals 5. Like, we know that 2 plus 2 equals 4. But I feel as though this song is trying to, like, January has April showers. It feels as though we're kind of being brainwashed. Its title references slogan 2 plus 2 equals 5 from George Orwell's 1984. Okay, so I was actually very close with that, because that's basically what 1984 is about. Already starting off with an absolute banger. I thoroughly like that song. That is, I want to say, the second most streamed song of this album. Yeah, I can see why. That was amazing. But next up, we've got Sit Down, Stand Up, which feels like a childhood game. Going back to very... Ooh. Sounds very mystique. I really like that. Oh, did those strings just follow his melody line? Yeah, okay, and the little chime things do that too. Wow, that's just so nice. The dun, dun, dun. I actually really like the drums in this. They're very subtle. I've only kind of noticed them now, but it's very like... There's always so much emotion in the singing in Radiohead's albums. You can just hear every emotion that they're conveying. It always amazes me. Ooh, that synth. That synth kind of feels a little bit offbeat compared to the drums in the song, but then it also doesn't at the same time. That's very strange. Oh wow. That piano. It feels like it's coming to a crescendo. The drums. Wow. I'm not ready. What the hell? Okay, I was not expecting that. What the heck? Those drums, that bass, what? Okay, this is what I was expecting it to go to. Oh wow, this is amazing. Oh! The guitar? Wow. Okay, the first two songs off this album, and I'm honestly speechless. This is exactly what I hope for when I listen to a Radiohead album. Whoa, words. This is exactly what I look for when listening to a Radiohead album. I think they do rock so perfectly. I don't know, just everything about the drums and the guitar and the bass just all work so well together. And honestly, what a beautiful song. I could hear it starting to build up at this part here, but I wasn't expecting that first half of the drums to be like that, and then it changed to what it was, but that was... yeah. Wow. I'm gonna be completely honest, I really have no idea what this song could be about, because the lyrics are quite minimal, to be honest, so we're gonna have a little quick look here. The second track was influenced by the jazz musician, this guy here. The militaristic imagery of its lyrics were written in response to the Rwandan, apologies if I've pronounced that wrong, genocide. Tate noted that the song's contradictory title lyric almost parodies the imperatives thrown at music audiences to get up and dance. Alternative title, sit down, stand up, snakes and ladders. Wow, okay, yeah, that's... reading this is very powerful because, yeah, you've got that juxtaposition of the lyrics of what it's about, being sad, making you want to sit down, but then you've got contradictory, the instrumentation of the song, making you want to stand up and dance. Wow. That's very powerful. Next up, we have got Sail to the Moon. Wow. Sorry. Hold up. The piano and the guitar. Right, we're gonna go back to the start, because that was beautiful. That first chord. Oh, wow. And then that piano. This is... I have no words. It feels kind of super strange because the guitar and the piano both sound really beautiful, but then there's almost this sort of clashing and tension that they bring together as well. Oh! Okay, hang on. I didn't expect the drums to just come in there. Wow. Oh, that's a beautiful drum. Oh, this man's voice. What a beautiful singer. Every album, I will say this. Giving me chills. Oh, wow. Wow. That falsetto. Wow, that's... yeah, actually speechless. Bringing in extra layers. This, like, synthy thing going on here? Those... see, the guitar, it sounds so beautiful, and then they just whack in, like, this chord that sounds so against the grain of the sound, but obviously I know that it's very intentional, but it's... no words exist in my vocabulary to describe how I'm feeling right now. Oh, I just heard those strings there. So gorgeous. I can hear like this. This sort of sounds wobbly. So much background atmosphere in Radiohead songs that I forever, forever will love. That was Sailed to the Moon. It has actually left me speechless, that song. I'm gonna say this. You can love me, you can hate me, you can have whatever feelings you may. From the first 3 songs, I am genuinely enjoying more than the past 2 albums I have listened to. The past 2 were great albums, but for me, this is the sound from Radiohead that I love the most, is their rock mixed with their experimental side perfectly. Sail to the Moon, for me, feels as though, again, it's about politics and it's about false promises that the higher-ups try and give us. They make these grand-esque things, such as saying, oh yeah, you know, we'll sail you to the moon, kind of thing. But then they don't. That's what that song feels like to me. The third track is a lullaby-like piano ballad with shifting time signatures. Oh wow. I'm not sure if that was something I actually noticed. It was written in 5 minutes from York's infant son Noah. Sorry, what? That's crazy. Alluding to the biblical story of Noah's Ark, the song contains the lyrics, maybe you'll be president but know right from wrong, or in the flood you'll build an ark and set us to the moon. Tate observed that the song, thus in biographical context, becomes addressed to our next generation in the same way Orwell's 1984 may have been written indirectly for Orwell's son, in the same way Hail to the Thief may not be imagining present ills so much as warning a next generation. Wow. The song's subtitle was taken from a song from the British children's TV programme Bagpuss? Never heard of that. Johnny Greenwood was initially unimpressed with York's demo of the song, feeling it had only half an idea, but felt it became just about the best song on the record after the band restructured it. So yeah, this album, it also is a little bit of a different vibe. I don't know, this just feels slightly different even with the lyrical content here. I mean, like, this was about warning the next generation of kids, or this was about warning the next generation. But next up, we've got Backdrifts, starting off with this cool synth thing. This feels sort of like it's shifting and oscillating between one of my ears and the other. Oh. Wow. This feels very much like their previous albums. Ooh. Those drums are really different. I really like this. Those drums are really funky. They're so groovy. Wow. Oh. Tom York's voice just has something so magical and unique about it. I honestly, I love it. Oh, I like that part. That was really cool, actually. Wait, sorry, I want to go back. Wow, I don't know. I really like that. There feels like there's this sound in the background that's really like raw and endearing. I'm kind of working out how I feel about this song. It's very different and sort of standalone. Like, it feels very catchy, but it's also very different too. It's like that drum part, like just the kick in it is... It's very catchy. Oh wow. Radiohead never keep anything the same, do they? They always love to add stuff, and I really admire them for that. This feels like I'm playing Space Invaders. Okay. Wow, that was Backdrifts. Very different song to what the 3 previous ones were. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Part of me kind of likes it, and part of me is sort of just like trying to figure out what my listening experience is like. Again, I'm getting more 1984 vibes now that it's been mentioned. I kind of can't take it out of my brain. But here when it says all evidence has been buried, all tapes have been erased, it feels very Winston-esque as to what happened in 1984. And I feel as though this song is almost talking about this new generation that they're talking about have kind of just been passed on to them, and no real thought has really been put out into how to raise the next generation. I feel like this is especially highlighted for me, and You Fell Into Our Arms. It's not really a... Falling into someone's arms is quite a sudden thing to do. It's not just something that gradually happens. And I think I get the vibe of trying to navigate all of the stuff that's going on in the world and how to pass it down to the next generation. The 4th track is an electronic song built from a loop York created on a portable workstation synthesizer before the Kid A and Amnesiac sessions. Wow, that's crazy. I love hearing the lore of songs when the song was actually made before other previous projects. I don't know, I think there's something so cool about that. Bassist Colin Greenwood called the track the point when we managed to work out how to make all the boxes and machines talk to each other. The lyrical imagery came from the time the band became trapped on a bullet train in a snowdrift in Japan. The snow was piled high on the branches, and then a bullet train would go past and the snow would drop off the branch. The whole world was utterly blanketed, except for these straggly bits of black and white, and that's where it started. The words have always been based in that image. He described the song as being about the slide backwards that's happening everywhere you look. Oh wow, the slide backwards that's happening everywhere you look. I love how all of these all have alternative titles. I just think it's really cool. Like this one, The Lukewarm, this was Snakes and Ladders, Brush the Cobwebs Out of the Sky. These are all the alternative titles here if you're interested. I think it's very cool. I don't know why they decided to go with alternative titles, but next up, we have got Go to Sleep. First thoughts is this sounds very country. I really like this guitar though. The time signature feels strange to me too. Oh wow. Okay. I was not prepared for that. The drums just totally changed up the vibe of the song. Wow. They've sort of changed the intro rhythm melody pattern from the guitar and put it onto the bass here, is what it sounds like to me at least. Ooh! The cymbals! Oh yeah. Hell yeah, I love this sound. I really, really like this. I love the guitar bit at the end there, that sort of feels like it feels as vocal, but it just rings out. Oh wow. And the drums are just building up here. That guitar. Oh my, I have goosebumps. Oof. The drums in this are phenomenal. And I say the drums, the guitar, just everything. Wow, wow, wow. Then we've just got it kind of fading out here. Okay, I loved that. Like, been so serious. Genuinely loved that. That was insanely good. I don't have a clue as to what this could be talking about. We've got like quotations here, which seems like it's quoting someone. May pretty horses come to you as you sleep. I don't know what this could be about at all. Okay, looking at the annotations here, this song has a 1960s English sort of folk song, and apparently Tom York actually just wrote these lyrics as placeholders with the intent of rewriting them later, but then when they came round to rewriting it, Tom hadn't thought of any other lyrics, so he just kept them, but then he kind of realised how good they sounded, and this song was intentionally meant to be about the war and sort of going back to when there was a lot of threats of another war happening and how dehumanising war really is. This line here, someone's son or someone's daughter, is where this is signified, because we forget that, you know, World War I, World War II, you're literally fighting sort of yourself, if that makes sense. You're just fighting someone who has a family, brothers and sisters, who just wants to feel love, and you're doing this for money, and all of that just gets completely stripped back and taken away from you when in the face of war, and you're not really seen as a person. I mean, if you often look at numbers of how many people died in certain wars, it's just the number, and it's really, really sad to think of it like that, because these people had, like I said, families and jobs, and they were somebody, and then unfortunately the dehumanization of war just comes in. Wow, what a powerful message for a song. Next up, we have got Where I End and You Begin. This is a very eerie... Oh! It started off eerie, came in with a really beautiful guitar part. I love how amazing the instruments always sound in Radiohead's albums or songs, but then how they also have so much more to the song as well. We have this sort of background atmosphere that we're met with, and it seems that every song that they make is just thought out so thoroughly of what picture they want to create, with not just their lyric, but their sounds too, which I, as a songwriter, really admire. That bass line is really groovy. Wow, that bass and those drums sound really good just together. Oh wow. What a funky vibey guitar. We had it in the bass before and now in the guitar. Because this is amazing. Oh wow. Those drums sound amazing. And then the bass comes back in. Nice. I feel like those guitars are becoming more aggressive. This part of the song, yeah, I really like that. Just that repetition. Ooh. Oh wow, and it just ends on his voice. That sounds amazing, amazing, amazing. First impressions of listening to this is, it makes me actually think of a relationship, whether or not that was what was intended, but the part where it's where I end and you begin, and then it said something about where I end and where you start. I don't know, it just makes me think of when you're in a relationship and you get so close to the person that you spent so much time with them and you end up kind of becoming one. You find it hard to figure out where you end and where that person begins, and that's what this song makes me think of. But then here, when it's I Will Eat You Alive, I don't know what that could be referencing. Okay, so from reading the annotations, it is actually sort of representative of a relationship, especially this last little bit here. It actually is about a relationship where you're on about having a boundary-free relationship, and then There'll Be No More Lies is suggesting that the relationship will end up sort of being over. But yeah, that was my sort of takeaway from that song. And next we have got We Suck Young Blood. Very vampire-esque. Even the piano sounds a little bit vampire-esque.
Are you hungry?
Oh. Oh. Okay. Was not expecting that kind of percussion.
Are you sweet?
This is such an eerie song. But that bass line is incredibly beautiful. And then we've got some guitars. Wow. His voice is...
Are you friend? Are you torn?
Oh. Okay. Some absolutely gorgeous harmonies there. Really listening to the instruments in this song, it kind of feels like they're going against each other. Wow. I love how the vocals is sort of following the melody of the instruments there too. Wow. Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Totally change up the song here. I can't get over those harmonies. That is absolutely gorgeous. And then the piano comes back in. His vocals. Oh my lord. I stayed pretty silent during that song because I was trying to take it all in. The vocals in that were absolutely gorgeous, and the eeriness compelled by the guitars and the piano and just all of the instruments combined was encapsulated so well. This song makes me again think of a new young generation. That we want young blood is making me think of the government are looking for the next people who can sort of take over, and I don't know, it makes me think of trying to brainwash a whole new generation, and they want this young blood, they want to change us and carve us into the way that they want, really. There's an annotation here which is unreviewed, but it could be very much what the song is about. It's talking about how most modern jobs are very thankless and hard-working jobs that are very low paid, and, you know, we're essential workers. And reading the rest of this annotation here, it says they want young blood because it's more efficient to exploit for financial gain. Here, Ivy is a pun on IV, which is common practice for the drip, which administrates drugs and fluids, and with the song's focus on blood and veins, it makes sense for this pun to be here, a quiet reference to the uncomfortable of being pricked and forced to lay or shuffle around, and even goes to the bathroom for sometimes even weeks at a time with a needle buried in the crook of your arm. To me, that makes me feel as though like you're being dripped down what a generation above you is sort of feeding you. There's so many powerful messages I find in Radiohead's albums. I mean, you know, all music is very subjective. How I see a song is completely different to how you may see a song. But I just think that in general, Radiohead, you can kind of tell that they have a little bit more of a go against the grain kind of vibe, which I really admire and think is very, very important. I think the fact that they can speak about what they believe in their songs is just, it's amazing. And I don't think many people have the authority or the bravery to do so, and the fact that they just were like, screw this, we're gonna do it, is, yeah, I love it. Next song that we have got is the Gloaming, starting off with some interesting noise here. Oh, we've got the OK Computer sound coming in here. These drums feel very odd. That sound is feels very space themed. What very interesting lyrics. I'm trying to wrap my head around the song. Oh, so many interesting instrument choices here. Oh wow. And the noise is just building up here now. I love that double vocal effect, wow. Okay. Feels very eerie now. Those sounds are like so strange. They're literally so electronic. Ooh. Oh, that's... I like that. A bit speechless with that song. That was very different to sort of the rest of the vibe on the album. That was definitely way more sort of OK Computer Amnesiac based. I'm very baffled and confused and intrigued by that song. I don't have much to say about that because even the lyrics have somewhat confused me, to be honest. Okay, so here it says, the Gloaming was born when Radiohead recorded Kid A during the experimental electronica-only sessions in early 2000. When the band split into teams who worked on different things separately, Colin and Johnny created an instrumental track that would serve Tom much rather later as the basis for working out a melody. A version called 33.3 Recurring, that most likely represents the state of work from the Kid A sessions, appeared on an EMI Acetate disc in 2003, suggesting it was considered for B-side release. Tom York said before performing this song, "The next song we're going to do is about the rise of fascism and the right wing. The only way to stop them is to do something. If you do nothing, they'll win, and these people are crazy." The annotations on this are very powerful. Like many dictatorships, the people don't realise what's going on until it's too late and events are out of their control and take them by surprise once they're set in motion. And then it mentions World War II here. I feel as though there's a bit of juxtaposition here with murderers, your murderers, we are not the same as you. Is when you think of killing someone, it's a bad thing, but in war, it's seen as more of a justifiable thing. I feel like that's what this annotation is trying to say. Again, another politically motivated song that is capsulated in the form of music. Next up we have got There. Ooh! Okay. Oh, and then the bass just follows it. I got a stank face on right now. Oh, that feels like just absolute classic 90s Oasis guitars. That's the first thing I immediately thought of when hearing that kind of guitar pattern. That bass. Oof. Oh, okay, a new guitar. I love that bass line. Dum 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 dum. Oh, I got really excited there. Trying to entice me with drums. Wow, that's really nice. I like this part. Oh. Okay. What a great guitar part to add. Very catchy guitar part as well. Just got this repeating riff. Oof. Yes! Oh, that riff was dirty. Oh my god. I love this. Just a heavy rock guitar. Ooh, this is amazing. Wow. Oh my. That was crazy good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Oh, I thought there was more drums there. I wasn't ready. I couldn't handle that. I could not handle that. Yeah, I love that. I don't really have much more to say about it because I just love Radiohead when they full on bring out their whole rock style back. I think they do it so well. That felt very Oasis-y vibes, or Oasis sounds like them. I don't know which way you want to look at it, but that was amazing. I don't know what to take from the lyrics. This album, for me, lyric-wise, has been more harder to read than I would have thought compared to the other albums. I thought this was going to be, I don't know, I just thought maybe this would be an easy album to read. Some of the lyrics, like, just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there. Again, my mind kind of goes back to a relationship and you're not feeling the same thing. One person's vibing with it and one person's not. But then there's this here, there's always a siren singing you to shipwreck, which I'm not really sure what could mean. There describes the human struggle against evil forces of temptation that vie us to lead us astray. Wow. Okay, the song is marked by the heavy use of toms, played by both Johnny Green and Ed O'Brien, in addition to Phil Selway, and murky reverb-laden guitars. Yeah, those guitars are unreal. Over the course of a relatively long 5 minutes. No, that was not a long 5 minutes. That was a short 5 minutes because that song was so good. The track builds to a loud crescendo, stopped with a distorted guitar riff. Beautiful riff. The beat and intensity of the song have made it a crowd favourite at the band's live performances. Yeah, I can see why. The track received a mention in Tommy Orange's namesake 2018 novel There There to portray character Dean Oxendine's lack of trust for his own thoughts, in Chapter 2 representing the Native American loss of identity. The book was not named after this track, however, but after a quote by Gertrude Stein instead. This is kind of going to an atheist perspective here, just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there. It's sort of going against the presence of God. It does mention here the same about relationships, and the main takeaway here is this. However, he's noting that not everything one experiences is real. The troubles and turbulences in this relationship may indeed be imagined. Wow. Kind of how you're your own enemy, I guess. Next up we've got I Will. Oh, perfect. It feels as though he's got two vocal lines here, and one's got an effect on it. Okay, already I feel as though this is referencing World War II. Wow, what a moving song. Oh my. Wow. I was not expecting that. That is... That vocal, wow. The guitar in this is just so effortless. It's so beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful chord to end on. This just makes me think of World War II and not wanting the same thing to happen to the next generation, and how innocent and young a lot of the people were who had to participate in being in the war. Radiohead attempted to record a version of 10th track I Will in the Kid A and Amnesiac sessions as an electronic song, but abandoned it as dodgy craftwork. Components of this recording were reversed to create like spinning plates on Amnesiac. For Hail to the Thief, the band sought to get to the core of what's good about the song, and not get sidetracked by production details or new sounds or whatever. Settling on a stripped back arrangement with layered vocal harmonies, York described it as the angriest song I've ever written, with lyrics inspired by news footage of a bomb shelter containing children and families being destroyed in the First Gulf War. Yeah, I thought that was about war. I just think it's crazy, the stuff that, I mean, you talk about World War II, and it's 2026, which is, nearly 100 years from when that happened, and we're still not changing as humans, really. There's still horrible, horrible things that are happening like this in the world, and there's so many innocent, not only children, but just people who are being affected by this for absolutely no reason. And next we've got A Punch Up at a Wedding. Interesting song title. Oh, I like that bass. So I always get a smile on my face whenever I hear like this instrument that I just love the sound of. Woo! What an interesting piano line. Oh. Wow. This feels so like dissonant. Oof. I don't know why that vocal line. The piano line on this is so catchy with that bass line in the back. Oh. Oh. Okay. That guitar? I just love the way that Radiohead managed to make lyrics flow. Bum, 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 bum. Oof. I just feel like it feels like the piano. There's a piano and drum. Wow, English. It feels like there's a piano and a guitar there together, but following each other, that it's hard to distinguish them. Unless it's just like double tracked. Oof. I don't know, there's something about that guitar that the dum dum dum. Oh wow. Ooh. This has got such a good groove to it. Got some nice little ad-libs here. Oh. Wow. Okay. Straight away, this makes me think of someone abandoning the altar at a wedding. And the person kind of coming to the realization that nothing that they ever do is good enough for this person, and, you know, a whole beautiful day just came crashing down. That's what this makes me think of instantaneously. According to Tom York, this song was born out of the frustration that bloomed when he came across a review bashing Radiohead's performance at Oxford. I happened upon, by accident, basically a review of our Oxford gig, which is just like, I mean, one of the biggest days of my life, obviously, and for all of us. And this, whoever this person was, just tore to shreds, and they couldn't quite think of how to tear us to shreds, really, so they just tore the audience to shreds. But this person managed to totally ruin that day for me forever, and it really shouldn't have done. I should be big enough to just ignore it. Interesting, that instantaneously made me think of a wedding day, which maybe, I guess, was meant to be. But it was actually about someone just completely shredding apart one of their gigs that they played. Again, I feel like this is something that we don't really think about often, is how celebrities are literally just people. And while that could have been one of Tom's best performances, best gigs, biggest gigs that he had ever performed in his whole life, and then someone just comes along and sort of shreds that up and takes that honor out of his hands. And I feel like it's crazy, isn't it, how there's all of these people who are obviously attending that gig, who are there because they like Radiohead, and this one review kind of ruins the whole day, even though all of those people were there for you. Next up, we have got Wow. Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce that, I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay. Wow. Yes! The guitars and that bass is just... Wow. Oh, I feel like I need to develop a headspace for myself of this. I'm loving it. The drums feel offbeat here, or it might just be the time signature. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh my. Those drums. Okay, those drums are just absolute next level. Now there's just so much noise absolutely everywhere in my ears. Myxomatosis. That's the title of the song. I have a smile on my face with this song. This is so good. I love how they just take out all the noise and strip it back and then just throw it all back in your face. Just that guitar line, the duh, 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 duh. wow, it's just so amazing how they do that on the bass, or whatever heavy instrument synth bass that is. Oh, this is so good, this part of the song. And the drums. This is so freaking good. And then this eerie synth to just lead us out the song. Okay. That's... what? Yeah. What the hell? Okay, I love that song. I feel like I need to do a Google search. Myxomatosis is a severe, often fatal viral disease caused by the myxomavirus that primarily affects European rabbits, both wild and domestic, spread by biting insects such as mosquitoes and fleas. Okay, I've never heard of this before. Let's take a little look over the lyrics to see if I can sort of understand. Okay, after reading over the lyrics off of reading what myxomatosis is, I feel like the lyrics sort of have two meanings. More of an explicit and then more of an implicit reading. The explicit is that being what myxomatosis does, but then for me, the implicit meaning is more like, this feels as though Tom's sort of describing what it feels like to be in the industry and how it can really change a person. I mean, he mentions here Time magazine, and yeah, I don't know, it just sort of feels like he's talking about what it can become, what it can feel like when you become sort of part of the public eye. A song touching on Radiohead's relationship with the media and their critics. Oh, I didn't mean to be so spot on, but never mind, I guess, what can I say? And how fame affected what they set out to achieve. It is permeated by a dirty, aggressive riff with heavy percussion, while York's lyrical delivery portrays elements of anguish with moments of confusion and hesitation. Yeah, anguish is the emotion that I was looking for within that song. York is comparing certain people involved in the critical reception of the band's work and the perception of their work in the public eye with rabbits suffering from the viral infection myxomatosis. Tom explains it by saying, "I remember my parents pointing out these dead rabbits on the road when I was a kid. I didn't know that much about the virus or even how to spell it, but I loved the word. I loved the way it sounded. The song is actually about mind control. I'm sure you've experienced situations where you've had your ideas edited or rewritten when they didn't conveniently fit into somebody else's agenda." Wow. And then when someone asks you about those ideas later, you can't even argue with them because now your idea exists in that edited form. What a beautiful description of that song. So yeah, I was kind of right with me saying that it's sort of Tom trying to navigate his relationship with fame. And yeah, myxomatosis is such an interesting word, but I like how he sort of took this word that he was really hanging on to as a child and then has applied it so beautifully and effortlessly into how he feels as an adult. Next up, we've got Scatterbrain. Starting off with just a beautiful guitar part with these amazing drums. That's what it feels like at the moment, a force 10 gale. It's so windy. Sorry. So random. This guitar's feels sort of lullaby-esque, slightly eerie. Ooh. Okay, I like that EQ effect. That's really nice. And they just bring it back. Ooh. Another beautiful guitar part added there. Tom's voice is just so powerful. This feels like a very moving song. Oh, I like that vocal effect. I just realized that there's a bass here too. I feel like that's probably been playing from the start, but I just have not even paid attention to that. It's so subtle, that bass, but it sounds really good. I think I didn't recognize it because it feels like the guitar has a bass note in it too. Oh. Yeah, those drums are just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, that song, Scatterbrain, was amazing. I really loved the drums towards the end there. That was just gorgeous. Looking at the lyrics here, I sort of see a metaphor between the wind and Scatterbrain, and how the wind is sort of so strong that it ends up being confusing. If that kind of makes any form of sense. I also feel as though Tom is trying to highlight again the power that authority figures have over us. Yesterday's headlines blown by the wind makes me sort of think about how easy it is, especially nowadays with social media, how fast we can just move on from one thing to the next. You know, things such as trends, or one day this news seems significant and then the next day it's just old news straight away off the bat. Here, any fool can easy pick a hole makes me think a lot about politics and how it's very easy when you don't know much about it or you're uneducated to just pick something because other people around you are picking the same thing, which I think is why the word any fool can easy pick a hole is used rather than just anybody, because I feel like a lot of us nowadays, I myself included, I am not very clued up on politics. I don't know much about politics. I'm trying to get a little bit more educated without overwhelming myself, and trying not to just passively consume what I'm reading about very significant things and try and form my own opinion and truth about what I'm reading. Tom said, "It's a really, really difficult song to describe. My favourite type of weather in the whole wide world is extreme winds. It's a bit dangerous. I have a house in the middle of nowhere, and the house next door, the roof blew up, and we just watched it, and it was exactly like The Wizard of Oz. It was fantastic. And this was a similar incident in the city, but it's kind of a love song as well in a way." From reading the annotations here, it's almost like about mental health, it feels as though, rather than what I was talking about. But, you know, every song has its own different meaning for everyone. Okay, we're moving on to the last song of the album, which is A Wolf at the Door. I'm ready. Ooh. Why do I feel like I'm listening to a Beatles song? Oh! That snare! Oh! Okay, I just need a moment. I was not expecting that kind of singing from Tom. I find his lyrics are very slow when he takes his time to sing and express how he feels, but this song? Nuh-uh. A lot of a darker tone to this song, especially with that guitar. Ooh. This is such a raw, edgy song. Ooh, those drums! I really like this, especially the vocal line. Wow. Oh, that's a nice bass line. Just crescendo there. Everything in this song is just so good. Those drums. Wow. Oh my. That's gorgeous. Okay, I absolutely love that. I was not expecting anything like that whatsoever. Even Radiohead's more rock songs don't typically have this many lyrics with it been sung like that. There was so much vocal melody variation in that was crazy good. What a great way to end an album, by the way. I don't even know what to make of these lyrics. I sort of feel as though Tom has just had... It sort of feels like when you've got so much built up in your brain and you finally get a chance to either talk to someone or journal about what your thoughts are, and it all kind of just spills out of you. That's what this song makes me think of, is Tom just spilling out all of his feelings and thoughts about everything that's on his mind, because he sings so fast in comparison to other songs, and there's so many lyrics again in comparison to other songs. Instantly, A Wolf at the Door makes me think of Little Red Riding Hood for some reason. The last song on Hail to the Thief from Tom York's ill-boding lyrics are matched by Johnny Greenwood's mellifluous music, creating a lush dissonance. Of note is the impressive spoken word performance by York. Yeah, that's what I said. It marks the first time he's used such a style. Like, how iconic to just sing like that, completely different to anything that you've ever made before in all of your previous albums. Wolf at the Door continues the album's fable-inspired motifs by reimagining the quintessential fairy tale villain. Oh, I was actually right. The wolf is the ruthless personification of the everyday capitalist struggle. Tom York remarked on this tone of the song, noting its placement as the final track as it ends the album on a frustrated, tragic note. This is pretty bitter stuff, all this stuff about cold wives and mistresses, cold wives and Sunday papers, city boys in first class. Bloody hell, it's pretty serious. It's just very angry. That's what I thought. It's just like all of these emotions and thoughts that you've had in your head, and then suddenly it's just sort of spilled out. What a powerful, powerful album. Hail to the Thief. My take on this whole album is just, again, it's sort of a addition to previous albums, as well as a ongoing theme of the previous albums too, such as politics and mental health and relationships, which Radiohead sometimes talk about, but not really, and it just sort of feels like an addition to that stuff. And I just think, like I've said, I think Radiohead are such a powerfully spoken band, and they stay true to their roots even when they, you know, obviously it's been years by this point since they've released some of their most popular albums, and they still stay true to what they personally believe. Looking on Google, it says that this album again is about political issues, anger and fear, lies, hope amidst despair. Really, honestly, just about the political scene in England in that time. I'm genuinely gonna say it. Out of all of the Radiohead albums I've listened to, this is up there. For me, Pablo Honey, The Bends, and OK Computer are thus far my favourites. This has been added to that. This was, for me, amazing. I simply cannot express how good of an album this was for me. The rock old Radiohead roots mixed with their newer OK Computer Kid A Amnesiac sound was mixed beautifully here. There wasn't too much of one or the other. I actually preferred that maybe there was a little bit more rock. That's just more my style of music that I like to listen to. I will get back to you with Editing Amy on my overall rating and my favourite songs from the album. Okay, thanks for your opinion, Editing Amy. I don't know what I said. Hola, soy Amy. Back here to tell you what I actually think of the album, a full review. I would give this album, been deadly serious, a solid 8 or 9. So if it's 8 or 9, we'll do 8.5, because I loved this album. I usually go over my favourite tracks from the album, but because there's so many on this album that I absolutely love, Hail to the Thief, the two of my favourite tracks is Myxomatosis and the very last song, which is just bear with me, and A Wolf at the Door. Those are my two favourite tracks off of this. So I don't really know what else to say. I really loved it. It's probably my favourite Radiohead album that I've listened to this far. So In Rainbows is next. That's crazy. I'm finally at the album that I really wanted to get to. Anyway, let's go back to the other me. Hopefully something interesting. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I hope that you guys enjoyed. We have got next on Radio's discography In Rainbows. I want to know your opinion. Do I listen to The King of Limbs? This here? Oh, no. I'm not listening to that album. I see remixes. And what do we go on from here? Do we listen to this? The King of Limbs? I will definitely be listening to A Moon-Shaped Pool. But after these 3 albums, do I continue, or what do we do? I'd like to know. And I would also like to know any other bands or artists or musicians that you would like me to give a listen to on this channel. I'm happy to listen to anything. I mean, I've got Don Toliver here, we've got A$AP Rocky here, but we've also got like Geese here and this here. Any album that you would like me to listen to, whether you want me to do individual albums from artists, or whether you want me to do more of a Radiohead deep dive, such as I could find another artist such as Pink Floyd, where I listen to all of their albums. If you would like me to do something like that, just kind of let me know. As always, I love to hear from you in the comments. One of my favourite things in the whole entirety of this world, making a video and seeing what people have commented. I love replying to you guys, I love getting back to you, I love discussing your thoughts on the album too. Genuinely one of my favourite things to do. I really hope that you did enjoy this video, and as always, I'm gonna choose a little something for you to comment if you made it to this far of the video. Let's go with water bottle. If you made it to the end, comment water bottle. But without further ado, that was Hail to the Thief by Radiohead.